I feel like I'm Google core. Got these haters so obsessed.
Damn.
My ranking so solid, yeah, you know they check it every test.
Yeah.
They can't move on, can't let it go.
Let
Help
it
them
go.
artists and campaigns and CEO pros. So shouldn't even skills to make a buck. Might as well sign up. Rank folks, just try your luck. When you Texas to win your survival, talking trash from behind fake profiles. I can never be just for someone to be clowns. Glad I'm the king with the crowd. My clients stay winning. My work is elite, bringing rankings and traffic and strategy. Be while you're guessing algorithms stuck in the fog on no one with solutions. Log by log. Hey, when the haters be talking that noise, call themselves experts playing with toys. Bet they can match my campaign. No skills, I'm the SEO legend. I'm closing the deals. Haters gonna hiss, but I'ma keep slaying, changing businesses daily. No games, no playing. Rank Fortress is the team. We dominate. Helping owners thrive while y'all speculate. Y'all go fast, haters look so lost every time y'all celebrate fake stats. Using my name for likes and views, but I don't care what trends. Cause in the end, William Jones always wins. I've been a Teflon Don and SEO. Every yard and every rank prove what I know. Y'all throwing dirt, but it never sticks. I know one fixing messes and pulling tricks. These gurus with these courses and outdated hacks. Spending more on ads than they'll ever make back. Mad at my wins, jealous of my grind. But I'm too focused, no time to rewind. Real strategies, no fluff or pretense. Client CROI, y'all still hopping the fence. Don't speak on rankings if you don't understand. While you're chasing shadows, I'm building demand.
Let's go.
Haters gonna hiss, but I'ma keep slaying, changing businesses daily. No games, no playing. Rank Fortress is the team. We dominate, helping owners thrive while y'all speculate. Haters gonna hiss, but I'ma keep slaying, changing businesses daily. No games, no playing. Rank Fortress is the team. We dominate, helping owners thrive while y'all speculate.
Oh, good, bro.
All right, we are live.
Yeah, how you doing, bro? Trying to get this back.
From the Philippines to North Macedonia. Let's go.
All right. Oh, man, how are you doing? What time is it where you're at?
It is 10:05 p.m. How about you?
It is 5:05 a.m. in the Philippines.
You just built that new center over there, right?
Yep. It's attached to the house, 2 stories, up and down. Then my wife added another room, and then she added another room. We have enough room for 150 plus. So we have over 100 staff right now. So
all SEO, right? All SEO VAs, right?
SEO, go high level, appointment setting, lead generation. So a little bit of everything.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, I'm super excited. A lot of people are super excited about this podcast. We got to thank Rank Fortress, William Jones for hosting Octotasker on this podcast. We are going to be going over the new 2025 cold calling strategy.
Awesome, dude. What are you? So you're in Macedonia. How long have you been at this? Because I know, I met you probably a couple of years back, but you've been doing, if you will, headhunting call center, setting up teams for years.
Well, we started off as a call center, just like a normal call center, telemarketing service, selling our own products, DTV, accounts receivable management, multiple campaigns. I guess nowadays they call it like a sales center where, we take leads and, we collect a percentage of whatever we close. And then, from there, we kind of ventured off because we had a lot of people just begging us and saying like, man, your talent's amazing. It's very affordable. How can we get, how can we get, VAs? They weren't called VAs back then, but how can we get agents like you? And I said, you know what? I never really thought about outsourcing. So we ended up opening up an outsourcing agency, outsourcing European talent. And from there, we seen that there was a gap where people wanted to hire directly and they wanted that local rate. So we said, hey, how cool would it be if we were able to recruit the VAs, whether that's a sales VA, customer service VA, whatever VA,
Mm.
train them because training is the most important part. Everybody thinks hiring a VA, it's good to go, but training the VA is the most important part, and then placing them in that organization and helping them set up a payroll method where they're able to pay their VAs on time. And yeah, that's kind of where we pivoted. And now we're getting back into more of like the call center build outs, the cold callers, um, the lead gen aspect, pretty much where we started off at, but we're helping
Mm.
agencies pretty much install those sales teams directly inside their businesses.
Mm. So
Most,
what type of training and everything do you put people through? Because this is the one where I seen a guy the other day. He's like, for instance, outsourced their training, and then instead of them doing their own training or them doing it on in-house training, like having someone like you actually train, they had someone else come in and do the training. And for me, that's just not the way we've always done it. For example, if someone gives us an SOP and we've never done it, I will actually train myself on it, make sure I get it right first, and then I give it over to I actually train the VA on it. Once they're done, then they're good, But I don't ever go, let me bring in this person to train my team on such and such. And then, I mean, that might sound like a really good idea, but when, let's say, 5 months down the road or 2 months down the road, something pops up and you don't know how to resolve something, well, you ain't got that person around that taught y'all to begin with. So now you're fucked. Um,
well, I I first started off as an appointment setter.
uh,
Like in Miami, I first started off as an appointment setter. Evidently moved to sales, and what I did is I started cold calling, and I pretty much figured out what that process looks like. How many dials do I need to make? Well, where do I get data from? What type of phone system am I using? How many dials do I have to make to get a person to say, "Hey, I'm interested"? And out of how many people that are interested, how many people are actually going to become actual paying customers, right?
mm,
So, I nailed in that process myself, and I once I nailed in that process, I moved to Macedonia, opened up a small call center where we started from like 2, 4, then we started building teams of like 40, 70, and over a period of time, we built like several call centers throughout the Balkan region. And for you that don't know what the Balkans are, we're talking about Albania, North Macedonia, Kosovo, Bosnia, Montenegro, Croatia. Am I missing anyone? I know I'm missing something. Missing one of them. Uh, Serbia. So, we started off there. And
mm,
then when we finally went fully remote, we said, hey, listen, there's a lot of other regions out there. And we tried the Philippines and we had good luck with the Philippines. We went through Latin America, we went through South Africa, and then we found the Caribbean. And as you know, when it comes to Jamaica, that's our bread and butter. That is where we are mainly recruiting. In Jamaica, Belize, Barbados, and just because English is the first language, especially when you're hiring cold callers, English is the first language. There's no cultural barriers. Now, when it comes to the Philippines, like there's amazing marketing teams there, and yeah, you can find cold callers, but it takes so much recruitment to find good cold callers in the Philippines
yeah,
compared to an area where English is the first language.
yeah. It's like I tell people, it's like, can we do it? Yes, the price is higher than
Oh
our
yeah.
other services because I'm going after people that are fluent, and a lot of times you have to get them in the bigger cities. We've done it before, not for us, but we have other clients that do it for. But the lead generation and the appointment setting aspect of it's easy peasy, and we do that all the time. But we don't do like that's the one thing we really don't do any of here is I do not have it set up for a call center. I've been telling people all the time, it's like honestly to set it up as a call center, it's a totally different setup. The dialers and the office space and everything. We'd have to put in, if you will, cubicles and all that stuff. We don't do any of that. We have been asked before, but it's just not something I'm ready to do, because mainly we're here to serve like digital marketing people, not really appointment setting. So
And big shout out to you. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but you recommended a graphic designer from the Philippines.
yeah,
And since I hired that graphic designer,
yeah,
she's been focusing on my brand, my personal brand, Viosa's personal brand, the Octotasker brand, and we're mixing our personal brands
yeah.
and combining it with the Octotasker brand. And she has been amazing, diligent. She works hard, and she has been she has been the best graphic designer that I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, she's actually been my graphics gal for like 4 years.
Oh,
So
she's amazing.
yeah,
She's
I actually
amazing.
met her. I met
I,
her when I first started Rank Fortress. So
I'm scared. I'm scared to say her name. Someone might steal her, man.
yeah,
Shout out to Irene. Irene's amazing.
I give her a recommendation to a handful of people, not too many.
Oh, she's
You know,
amazing.
so where do you want to start at? I mean, because everybody's asked about this 2025 method and stuff, because things change all the time, especially now they're coming out with all this AI crap, and the AI, if you will, the AI appointment setting, especially when they go high level communities and stuff. And how is
It's
that
just a hype.
changing your game?
It's just a hype. It's just a hype, dude. It's
Yeah,
a hype. It's something that everybody could sell, and it's just robo dialing. And think about it like this, right?
yeah.
If
Robodialing is actually illegal in the States. So
Yeah, well, it's illegal if you're using it for like cold robo dialing, right? But if you're
mhm.
getting opt-ins, then that's
Yeah,
where
that's
it's
different.
acceptable, right? So let's think about it like this, right? Right now, AI integrated with a high level is the easiest thing to sell right now. Okay, easiest thing to sell. All right, but how long? We're talking about maybe 6 months, a year from now. How long before everybody starts hanging up on this AI
Yeah.
robodialers?
Well, it's like, I mean, honestly, most people, when they call a company, I mean, how many people have thought of this? I mean, like, they call a company and they get pissed off because they have some electronic ass voice person answering the phone, and it's a machine, and they don't like it. And most of the robodialers that I've listened to, even the ones that are really good, okay, and I've seen demos of this. I have someone that wanted to sell it to me so we can white label it and all that. It's like, even the demos, it's like it sounds good, but it's not
We
convincing.
we thought about it. We thought, and the team talked about it, and we were like, man, can we integrate this with our recruiters, right?
Yeah,
And all our recruiters said, listen, people apply with us because of the relationships we build. If we're headhunting or they're coming into us, they trust us. Okay, let me tell you something. If you put AI in front of me and you put a live human in front of me, who am I going to buy from? AI or
yeah.
William Jones, who I know, I like, I trust, who I've developed a relationship with over a period of time. So AI is cool. It's going to assist you just like automation, but it's not gonna replace jobs. Let's talk about now. What is AI replacing now?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I would agree with. It's like even like marketing and stuff. I teach my lead generation to obviously our VAs, and I also teach it to people in my coaching program. But I tell them, say, I have tools that do certain aspects of it. Like if I've friended too many people, I have, if you're not engaged, removing friend requests and they're just sitting there in Facebook or whatever. I have a lot of that, creating engagement, even all that. Okay, that's all automated. But the actual answering comments, I don't do no fucking AI with that, because it's so generic. And most of them are like, well, you can give it so many different, if you will, options or ways to answer. I am not doing that, because, for example, if I'm into groups or whatever and I'm trying to, like you told me the other day, when someone had messaged you and you went on their Facebook wall and you've seen, okay, where they lived at, and you're like, if they like a certain type of sport or whatever, I could go in there and do the same thing. It's like, hey, hey, John is here in Dallas, and I ask them, certain specific things about Dallas or whatever teams about Dallas, and it gives it personality versus just seeming generic. And that's what AI even seems like. I even heard Gary Vaynerchuk the other day. He talked about it. He said, how can you stand out with all this AI coming out? Is being authentic, because so much of the, if you will, social media posts and everything all look the same by everybody that's posting everything, because it has no personality because everybody's using an AI.
If everyone's going to use AI, you know what's going to be the most valuable thing? Human interaction.
Yeah.
So everybody here right now, let's get away from the AI. Everyone right here wants to know about the cold calling strategy. How many people here are marketing agencies? If you're a marketing agency, drop a heart in the comments.
Yeah.
If you sell SEO, drop 2 hearts in the comments.
Hello from Canada.
All right, hello from Canada. Toronto. I'm almost Canadian. I'm from Buffalo, New York. Any agency on here? Any agencies on here? Anybody selling SEO? All right. So let's get into this cold calling strategy, right? So let's break it down, right? Cold calling, it's always worked. It's not going anywhere. It's been converting for years. It's old. Nobody wants to do it. It's tough, right? Now, here's the thing. When you cold call somebody, instead of trying to sell them something, let's take old school and new school and combined it, right? So instead of trying to book an appointment, if you're a marketing agency and you're selling SEO, put a course together or a webinar together that's going to show them how to get results over a period of time. They got that course or they got that webinar. You cold call them. You get them on that. You give them that free training or that webinar. Book a call with them. Show them how they're going to get results and how they're going to implement that. Now, we all know most people, they're not going to do nothing. They just want instant results.
Yeah.
But now you got a booked appointment. Now you're able to show them. And on top of that, we have a support community that we want to invite you into. It's for businesses like you. So we get them in that community, okay? And if we got them in that community, they go through that Facebook funnel, answer the questions. What kind of, how long have you been in business for? What kind of business are you? Hey, we got a strategy for 2025. Drop your email. We'll send it to you. Hey, our team specializes in SEO. If this is something you'd like to implement it, and you want our team to reach out to you, press, whatever, for our team to DM you. Get them in that community. Start adding them as friends, of course. And now we start nurturing them with content. Because remember, people buy from you once they like you. They know you, they trust you. And the analytics, the data states it takes 7 hours for someone to consume your content before they become a paying client.
Yeah, I mean, even in most training that I've read and I've studied, it's like 8 touches, 8 touches that you need to actually make before sale. I have had so many people that I personally, even though like my calendar is booked to freak out, but the thing is, I have had so many people go, I've been following you. Like, how long have you been following me? 2 years, 2 fucking years, and just now booking a call. And that's why I tell people it's a matter of being consistent and posting on a regular basis versus a lot of times people just, I post once a day or whatever. And then they wonder, like, why is it not working? Like, it's not working because you're not working. You're not putting out the content. I put out content multiple times every single day and it just does not work. For them, for them it don't work. But if I look at it, it's like you're not being consistent. So I don't know. For me, that's always been the case. It's like I put out, like, whenever in the office we're doing something, if like my wife, we bought snacks, or we're doing pictures, or we're opening up in the morning, or you have a random thought. I mean, even Desmond's the one that pushed me to do that shit. It's like you're posting, just post random thoughts. I mean, different things, because people, they're gonna be something that you're gonna wind up saying or posting. It's going to tick off. I've had pictures and things that I've posted. One I posted, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, got over 2 million views. I have one like from 2 weeks ago that got over 1,000 shares and over 3,000 or 4,000 reactions. And then all that stuff starts pulling people into, if you will, my Facebook funnel and stuff of that nature. So it's, and one of the things you introduced me to that I really like is that, everybody doesn't know you. So instead of just trying to sell them and book an appointment, get them into your community. And then once you get them into your community, you can warm them up and they get to know you, and you get into your ecosystem and everything of that nature. It's a whole other level of, if you will.
Now let's run the math, right? Let's say you sell a SaaS service that has AI, right? Let's say you sell it for, I don't know, 250, 300. Let's say 300, right? 300. Let's say you book 2 appointments a day. We're lowballing it. Let's say 2 appointments a day, right? 2 times, let's say, I don't know. What are we doing? 2 times 4. What are we doing? 2 times 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, 10. 10 appointments a day, right? 10 appointments a week. I'm sorry. And let's say we get a 30% conversion. 3 times 300, right? For the month. That is $900, right? Hold up. I think I did the math wrong. Hold on 1 second. 2 times, let's see, 2 times 4, 2 times 4, 2 times 5, right? My bad. 2 times 5, 30, that's 3 times, let's say, 300, right? We got $900, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Something's not adding up, man. I'm not doing the math right. Okay. So it's, okay. Am I doing the math right, Viosa? Hold up 1 second. I'm doing the math.
He's not a math guy. You're like,
yeah, I'm not a math guy, man. I had the math going good, right?
Like me, I'm not a math guy, but I am a poker guy.
All right, I actually got it right here. Let's say about this, right? 2 appointments a day equals 10 appointments a week, right? That's 40 appointments a month. My bad. Oops, messed up. 40 appointments a month with a 30% close rate, right? Equals 12 sales a month. Let's say you sell a $250 reoccurring revenue. That's a SaaS that you sell for $250. That's $3,000 a month, right? Expenses, dialer, bonuses, the VA, that's $1,000 a month. That means that you profit $2K for that month, okay? Add 5 cold callers. The revenue per caller is $3,000 a month. Expenses per caller, $1,000. With 5 callers, you're putting down $10,000 the first month, but the next month you got $15,000 in residual, and you're able to add those numbers every single month.
Yeah. It's just a matter of, it's a consistency game for the most part. I tell people a lot of times. I mean, I did a reel the other day is about how much money do you want to make, and most people don't even know the numbers. And I tell them, say, okay, so let's say most people always throw out this number, which is honestly is never this number. It's like, I want to be a millionaire. Well, to make $1 million, 365 days, even though I know for a fact you're not going to work 365 days, but let's just say, for example, instead of 365 days, you're working, if you will, an average of, half of that or whatever. So let's say 150 days a year, you need to make about $6,000 unfortunately $6,666 a day.
Yeah.
Which, if you're going to work 8 hours a day on that, you know, it depends on most people's working. You need about $800 an
You
hour.
know, the problem is, right? Your job as a CEO should be to lead the company,
Yep.
create the content, be the face of the brand. And when you build a call center, that is something that is consistent. You don't have to worry about what type of content am I going to make, how many people am I going to
Yep.
DM. There is people consistently dialing 600 calls a day. They're booking appointments. They're transferring over to salespeople. Salespeople are closing the deals. They're
Mm.
transferred over to billing. Billing is collecting the credit card information, sending out the service agreements, the contracts, and then of course, doing the fulfillment, right? You got somebody, setting up the GHL, setting up, whatever the case may be, right? You get it. But you know, the key is consistency, man. Consistency.
And then once you're consistent, the next thing is like for me, what having a team, an actual team, lets you do is scale. And scale, most people don't understand why I help people scale. It's like, what's scaling? Well, number one, you can't even scale if you've never scaled yourself. That's number one. Number two, scaling. If you came to most people, if I come to most people, you come to most people and say, okay, here's 100 new clients, they're going to shit themselves because they can't handle it. Okay, so you're not ready to scale. And then, but this ability, whenever you're outsourcing, whether you're using Octatasker for your cold calling and appointment setting, or using us for SEO or go high level or whatever, we give you the ability. If you came to us with 100 clients, no problem, no big deal, and we give you that ability to scale, and it makes you look like a fucking genius because of the fact that you're outsourcing to someone that actually physically trains their people. Like Daniel actually trains his fucking people. It's not like Daniel goes, hey, let me outsource my training to somebody else, or Daniel doesn't have any experience in actually
We
doing what he's selling. He actually has you
we
experience.
went live, man. You seen it? I don't know if you've seen it, but we went live with our training, man. We do the cold calling training, we do the script training, we create the scripts, we create the systems, we build the lead magnets, we build the communities, we build the funnels that on top of the communities. We install the DM setters, we train the DM setters to do the outreach. We figure out, we install the dialers, we figure out where we're going to get the data from, we plug the data into the dialer, we build the whole system, man. I think you froze up.
Times. Hey Daniel, you back?
I think you froze up, or you're a very good mime.
No, it was yours. You went gone, so you just came back. So
Ah, all right,
sorry,
man.
but I think that's what the biggest thing is. Like having a team that's reliable that you can outsource to is what the biggest difference is. It gives you. It's like the consistency. Like with us doing the lead generation, if you will, when we're doing lead generation via the organic method, whether it be through email marketing, whether it be through cold calling, is when you're consistent. It's a numbers game, and then even if you suck, at it, the percentages are in your favor. And even if you get a few, I tell people, if you just follow the basics of what we teach, and said, even if I gave you 4 new clients a month, that's 50, almost 50 new clients a year. And most people cannot handle that.
Let me tell you something, man. 99% of people just won't do it.
Yeah.
There's a small percentage of people that will actually take action, man.
Yeah, it's very true. It's
Let,
like
let, let, let's get a heart, man. Anybody watching this, drop a heart. Drop a heart in the comments.
but yeah. So how long have you been living in Macedonia?
Oh man, 2016, almost 9 years.
Yeah. When was
Nine
the last time you went back to the States? Have you ever went back to the States since you
and man, I keep on having kids, man. I keep on having kids.
left? And
I
how do you meet your beautiful wife?
Well, originally, we met in the call center. I
Mm.
built the first call center. There was like I think like two of us, then four. She was one of the first employees, and yeah, love at first sight, I guess, right? We got
Right.
married. Very, it was a very different culture over here, and we got
Mhm.
married, and we at that point we had a partnership going on with another individual.
Mhm.
And eventually, well, you know how partnerships work. Eventually, that didn't work out,
Mhm.
and yeah, I eventually partnerships just don't work out, man. And we ended up building our own call centers, and we got really good at it. And we built the first one, the second one, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, and then eventually the management, man. The management was just
Yeah.
a pain. And we wanted to venture out. We wanted to see what it was like to go remote, because that was our dream. We had kids. I wanted to be at home. I wanted to spend time with my kids. I didn't
Mhm.
want to go to the office. I didn't want to have a babysitter or a nanny. And
Mhm.
I wanted to be able to spend time with my kids while I work. And also at that point, we had, like, once we built what we built, because we were the first ones that we brought the call centers over here. We are
Mhm.
like the grandfathers of the call centers in the Balkans.
Mhm.
And once we did that, all the big investors came over here, and we just couldn't compete with them. They were outspending us in ads, they were outspending us in everything. So I said, what are we going to do? And I said, listen, okay, everybody is taking a bus, they're taking a car, they're going to the office. This is pre-COVID. COVID's almost about to happen. Pre-COVID, I said, put everybody at home. Give
Mhm.
everybody a phone. Let me pull that phone up. Hold on 1 second. Let me get this. Said, let's give everybody one of these nice phones right here. The Polycons.
Mhm.
Hooks into the internet. We program it. And yeah, we got everybody working from home, and that's how we were able to compete against the multi-million dollar companies, the ones that were outspending us. And then I said, hey, if we're able to do this in Macedonia, we could do this in Albania, we could do this in Kosovo, we could do this in Serbia, we could do this in Montenegro, we could do this in the Philippines,
Yeah.
Latin America, the Caribbean, Africa. We can go global, and that's what we did.
So if I'm a business owner and I'm listening, I'm like, okay, I want to start. I want to do a call center. I want you to do cold calling for me. What's the first thing that they should start with?
Well,
Maybe they don't have their Facebook profile optimized. Maybe they don't have a Facebook group. Where are you going to start at?
the first thing we need to start off is who is their audience that they're selling to. That's the first thing. Let's optimize their offer. Let's make an offer that is like a no brainer. And I'm not talking about
So let's just go ahead and stop there. So most people, because we'll break it down, they say, "Well, my ideal client says people with money."
what's that?
I know most people say like their ideal clients. I just want customers with money. That's my
Yeah,
ideal client. That's
yeah.
not an ideal client, is it?
That's not an ideal client.
So explain what
That,
you
that,
mean ideal client is.
okay, give me an industry.
So roofing.
Roofing, right? What type of roofing you do? What do you specialize in?
We do flat roofing.
Flat roofing, right?
Yep.
So we want to specialize in people and houses that are built around. I don't know nothing about roofing, so I'm just going off the top of my head. We want to find people who need flat roofing. Their houses are built for flat roofing,
Mhm. But
and
then you would go into like we teach as well is like you would go into. So do you want to do refurbs or do you want to do new houses? Do you want clients that have let's say they're 20 years old, or do you want clients that are in their 40s and 50s? And
what
most of the time we
well,
tell them it's 40s and 50s because they have money.
well,
You
what's the
know,
benefit of flat roof?
yeah. There's
What's the
all
benefit?
and then the pain
What, what,
points and everything else.
what's the benefit of putting a flat roof on there?
Well, I can tell you, like most flat roofs are going to be commercial, uh,
Okay.
not residential.
So there
But
you go.
the point being is the very first step that you're going to do is you got to develop who your ideal client is, so you can have a customer avatar. And by customer avatar, then you know then you go into their pain points. I'm assuming pain points are going to be your messaging. So if you can
So
dial in your messaging, then what are you posting and what are your offers? Because this is what you got into is dialing in, if you will, your offer, right?
so will flat roofing save businesses money?
Yeah,
Okay. So the second thing is, okay, we know the offer, we know the ideal, the ideal client avatar. We want to reach out to commercial, commercial, buildings. We want to offer them flat roofing. Can we put a training together on the benefits of flat roofing? Can we put some sort of webinar on how installing a flat roof is going to save them money in the next 5 years?
yeah, bingo.
Okay, let's get them. Let's put together that training, some sort of training. I don't know too much about roofing. I would have to take a really deep dive, learn about the industry, which is what I do. But let's put together some sort of webinar or training. Let's call them. Let's book them in so we can go over on how they're going to get X result. Right now, what we want to do is on top of that training, we have a community specifically for companies like yours. Let's get them in that community. We wrote the script, we put together the training or the webinar, we put together the community, okay? And now we're able to do what? Every single rebuttal that you get when you're
Yeah,
calling, and believe me, you're gonna get. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on here, but you're gonna get 200 fuck yous before
yep,
you get a yes. Take
correct.
all those rebuttals. We got content we could make. We just create content around those rebuttals, and we consistently create content, and we nurture that traffic, that cold calling traffic. We want to basically let's drive it to our community, and let's nurture them with those rebuttals. Let's nurture them with that content.
Yeah, and I think that's what it's like. Even when we're setting up we're setting up someone brand new client, we're setting up their, if you will, their Facebook, and we're optimizing it. The very first thing I'm looking at is like, well, why should you be posting on a regular basis? Is we're trying, and we do the same process: customer avatar, what's your pain points, what's your tripwire, and then we make content based around the pain points, and then we're consistently on a daily basis posting about those pain points via content, because then people, you're going to be at the top of the mind every time I think about whether it's local SEO or getting more leads or whatever it is. It's going to be about you, because one of the best books I have, I don't have it here because I'm in the studio, but it talked about your job is to be omnipresent. And this is where I've had people, I've told you before, even I've had haters come in my fucking inbox and be like, honestly, I don't like you at all, but I see you everywhere. And I'm almost like, well, that I'm doing my job, because you should be thinking about me no matter what, no matter what niche and that stuff you're in. And I have people, and you do that, and we do that same thing, like cold calling. That's what it's doing for you. Ads, that's what's supposed to be doing for you.
Now,
SEO, that's what's supposed to be
now,
doing for you.
now, here's the kicker, right? As they're coming into your community, we're grabbing their email because now we got another we got some other software that grabs their email, their name, and now we're able to email nurture them. We're able to talk about how we helped John install a flat roof and prevent him from XYZ. We worked with this company over here and we were able to help them. We worked with this company over here and we're just able to consistently nurture them through email marketing as well. So we got them on Facebook, we got them an email, we can get them an Instagram, we could eventually get them on Twitter, TikTok. We get them everywhere, man, and we just market and they just keep on seeing our messaging.
Yep.
And all we're doing is we're taking that cold traffic from cold calling and we're driving it to Facebook.
Yep. And then, I mean, one of the things I remember Dennis, you even talked about is like you say you have content that takes off. That's where I, as well, will also take. If a piece of content takes off, I know it's doing really good and my audience loves it, then I'm going to start pushing Facebook ads to it. I take that piece
That,
of content, and that's
that
when I start doing that.
that's another thing. Before they go into your Facebook community, they got to go to a website. You grab their pixel. Now we can
Mhm.
retarget them, right?
Mhm.
Hit them with that power content.
That's all the stuff people don't do. It's another reason why I tell people to say, honestly, like when we're developing tripwires and optimizing and their offer, I tell them, say, if you don't have an email list, the first thing you need to be doing is building up your email list. And this is why we do all the go high level integration and stuff. I had someone recently, because we just launched our new site too. They're like, is it building go high level? I said, no, it's not building go high level. It's actually WordPress, but everything else is integrated into go high level. So when you fill out a form, it goes into go high level and we're building up our email list. That's why I was able to do, it took me 4+ years, but our email list is over 300,000. And that's how we were able to do it, is through like the methods you're talking about.
And let's talk about that flat roof, right? Maybe we could put together a PDF that could tell them the 10 steps they need to do to protect their roof, or even better, if they end up, getting a faulty roof, how they can get an an insurance claim.
Yeah.
Now these are ideas. I don't know nothing about roofing. I'm just like, kind of throwing the ball at the ball at the wall here. But I'm hoping everybody gets the picture here.
No, it's just a matter of, you don't just go, like most people, they're like, I just want clients. And that's just not the truth. When you first start out, maybe that's what you think, is like because you're desperate and you just think, hey, I just need to make some fucking money. So therefore, I want to have every client that comes in. And then what winds up developing is like Russell Brunson, I know he talked about this before. He's like, you wind up waking up one day and you hate your work and you hate your job and you hate everything you're doing because you never sat down and said, what do I want? Who do I want to work with? Excuse me. And therefore, you're taking on clients that you shouldn't even be taking on. And you wind up developing, a love-hate relationship. I did it
Well,
when I first started with SEO too. So
I think the biggest problem taking on clients that you don't want to work with is we sell them on high tickets instead of indoctrinating them, selling them on low tickets, building that authority, building that trust. Like I said, someone has to trust you, they have to like you, they have to know you, and eventually they become a client. If someone doesn't trust you, like you, know you, and you're just trying to sell them, you're just trying to collect their money, you're not trying to solve their problem, and they don't trust you, you are going to have a bad client. And if you do not set solid expectations, you're going to have a horrible experience, not only you but the client.
and I think that's what, honestly, is like having the community aspect of it does, is because then it allows people to get to know you. And most people, like we tell you all the time, it's like people buy from you. They don't buy your service necessarily. They may want your service, but they're not going to usually buy from you unless they like you.
Yeah. Hey, William, right?
Yeah.
I'm a VA recruiter. You run a BPO. How many times have I messaged you asking you about VAs?
I mean, we talk about it quite often, but
All the time I message you, hey man, how much can it cost me to hire one of your VAs?
yep,
Even though I do it myself, I've
yep.
messaged you before.
Yeah, and we've
Why?
talked about it before with call centers and stuff of that nature. Is like, if I want to do this, what would it cost? You know, to set up lead generation using your
And
method.
and why is that? Because I like you. I
Yep,
know you. I trust you.
yep. It's a bit.
So
There's Steve Covey has a book called The Speed of Trust, and it's one of the best books out there on it. And it talks about all of that. It's like, people buy from you because they know you, they like you, they trust you. It's the same reason why. I mean, I see so many people doing, for instance, they concentrate on Google reviews. They concentrate on getting written reviews. And then they post these stupid ass written reviews on their website. And so I say, you know what? I don't believe the written reviews. And most people don't believe the written reviews. Okay, because they know they are fake. I know most of them are
I
fake. And the
I
fact they're
don't
fake,
even believe I don't even believe the video reviews. You know how many people I
yeah,
see making reviews? I go on Fiverr and I see the same people.
yeah. I had a guy sent me one the other day. He's like, he sent it to me just to see. It's a friend of mine, business guru guy. He sent one to me and said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Fake as shit." I could tell it's scripted. And then generally, I'm like, that's why whenever I have people, they'll do us reviews for Rank Fortress and or the VAs. I tell them, say, take out your phone, do it on your phone, right? I don't want it scripted. I don't want it to sound generic. I want it to seem like you fucked up a couple of times. I want it to seem real, and therefore I have them do it that way. So it's more believable when it sounds real and sounds like he can trust you, stuff of that nature.
Yeah, man.
But yeah,
So
it's about
so
the trust, I think.
this cold calling strategy, it's going to work 2025, 2026, 2027, all the way on. You know why? Because we're combining community, content marketing, DM setters, and that's why it's going to work. We're combining
So
old school.
whenever they're doing the cold calling, are they actually doing the community management and everything too, or is the client having to do that part?
Well, I mean, you're going to have to hire a DM setter that's going to have to do the community management. They're going to have to do the outreach, and then of course you're going to want your cold callers to kind of check in. It's not going to be a cold call anymore. It's going to be a warm call. Hey, how you doing? This is Dan. I'm calling from the office of William Jones. We sent you some information a little bit ago. It was some training. Just want to check in, see where you're at.
Hmm.
What you implemented.
So it's
Oh,
kind
I
of like,
have that.
so for example, it's kind of like this. So we got a list. You build out the list, we get the list. That's one of the biggest keys is building out the list. And then once you build out that list, you're going to invite them to the community. Once I invite them to the community, then obviously they're going to start seeing the
free
content.
free
Yeah,
free training.
yeah,
Book the call to go over the training, get
mm,
them in the community for support,
mm,
okay? And then, once you go over the training, that's the book appointment. Some
mm,
people are going to want to do webinars. Some people are
yeah,
lazy. They want to do the webinars. They don't want to do the book appointments. They want to take the easy route, whatever. We can do the
mm,
webinars. However, the training, booking that call so you can go over the training and what they need to implement, get them in the community, nurture them with the content, reach out to them with a DM setter, and pick up the phone, dial. Hey man, what have you implemented? Listen, you told me you wanted to, get some more sales coming in. You wanted to get some more leads. We gave you marketing materials. I mean, is it? Do you have enough time? Is it time? If
yeah.
you don't have enough time, we offer this as a service. We can do this for you.
Yeah, and then like you said, after that, then so they get in, they've done all that. Now you're going to also follow up with them because that's
Follow
where
up.
most people just they neglect the follow up, and when you neglect the follow up, you're losing money. You're bleeding out the
Now,
money, basically.
now, now you should be able to close on the first call 30%.
Mm.
30% conversion. That's just all around the board. But the rest is all going to be nurturing.
And if you can't close people, quite honestly, your problem is not the the leads.
Yeah,
It's not the traffic.
then you need some sales training.
Yeah, and that's where I find a lot of people. It's like, well, what do you think of a website? What do you think of my offer? What do you think of this? And we'll get that dialed in, and then start getting people on their funnel. Start people getting on their book calls, and they're starting their fucking calendar starts getting booked out. And then, well, how many did you close? Well, I closed, a whole two or three. You got a problem. If I'm sending every 30 freaking appointments and you're only closing three or four, you know.
You know what the problem is? Your calendar shouldn't be getting booked out. Your sales team calendar should be getting booked out.
Yeah,
Your one, your two, your three, your four sales agents' calendars should be full.
yeah,
That's how you're going to scale.
yeah. So how does someone get a hold of you, Daniel? I want to hire someone. I want you to build out a team. Do you start with one? Do you start with four? I mean, how does that work?
Well, let's see. Give me 1 second. I think I could share my screen here. Give me one moment. Give me 1 moment. One second. 1 second. I got like 20 windows open here. Oops. 1 moment. All right, almost there.
But
All
guys,
right.
if you got any questions, just drop them below and we'll
Any
answer them.
any questions? You guys want to get a hold of me? Let's see. Window. All right. Give me 1 second. Our website's being updated.
So, I got a question. For example, what if we already have Go High Level? Awesome, Tannen. I find that a lot of people actually have Go High Level, but that honestly doesn't mean anything. Most people actually have Go High Level, and then they're not maximizing it. You know, are you maximizing it? I'd ask you, how many things have you got set up? You got your funnel set up, you got your email sequences set up, your SMSs set up. Do you have your messaging? Do you have your tripwires? Do you have all that shit set up? And answer most people, no, they don't. So one of the things we do at Rainforgers when we first take on a Go High Level client is we're setting up all that shit for them. So showing the stream.
Are you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
All right. Go to Octotasker, and what you're gonna do is you are going to hire now. And you are going to hire now, and you are going to wait for it to load. Cloudflare. All right, you are going to wait for it to load, and you are going to book a call with me. Might not be with me, might be with somebody else. Put in your name, email, company name, position you're hiring for, and schedule a call.
And who will I get? Generally speaking, you're not. I'm going to assume you're not on these calls, or is it your team?
Most of the time, I'm going to be on the call. Some of the times, it's going to be my team. It all depends. If it's someone like completely brand new that just never hired before, I need to get on that call and I need to answer a lot of questions. So a lot of times I get on that call. Sometimes I have my team get on that call. So it really all depends.
So it all depends on the situation. Okay.
So, but most of the time, for the next month, you will get me on the call. So you will get a one-on-one consultation with Dan Jones.
Awesome. All right. So if we want to get a hold of you, you go to Autotasker, or
Octotasker.com.
Just reach out to Daniel on Facebook. Daniel Jones is an easy name to remember. That's why I like Jones.
You could find me on Facebook, Setters by Dan, Instagram, Setters by Dan, Twitter's Setters by Dan, YouTube, Setters by Dan. Got the same handle everywhere.
And then if you want to get a hold of me, same thing. Just find me, and I will connect you with Daniel and let you go from there and stuff. But plan on doing, some calls to Daniel once a week, often as we can. Next week, I will be out of town next week, so I won't be able to do it next week.
Tannen, you got any other questions? Tannen's actually my buddy, man.
Cool.
See, Tannen, you just got high level. High level is a little bit more advanced. You're going to have to customize that. There's tons of people that can help you customize the pipeline stages. Then you're going to customize the workflows, the tags. So just signing up for high level, it's just not plug and play. You're definitely going to have to.
It's amazing. It's an amazing tool. However, there's a very high learning curve, and that's why every week we're teaching go high level over here. Every
Yeah,
week we're, you know,
you got some high level VAs, right?
we have about 8 of them. So we do
All
that,
right.
and then also we're going to be dropping very soon here in the next week or so. After I get back from my little poker tournament thing, I'm going to be dropping a course on Go High Level Training. We're going to be offering it on a weekly basis, in which we take in, say, for example, and this may sound stupid, but okay, Tannen has Go High Level, brand new, and I'm going to log into it, audit it, and say, okay, what's set up? Nothing. All right, so what's the first thing we do, Tannen? You know, we set up your business information. Then after we do that, okay, we make sure your funnels are set up, your emails are set up, your email sequencers are set up, your SMSs are set up, your forms are set up. Where do you have your forms? Where are you pulling in your emails? Do you got your pop-ups? Do you have your widget on your website? All that stuff. Get all that shit set up, and then get all the sequences and all the hooks and everything else set up that you're talking about, for example, and then have it max the fuck out. And then if you start bringing on clients, this is where you create sub accounts. And then we also do the sub accounts and everything else. And we're going to teach all of that
And,
sort of
and,
thing.
and here's the cool thing I didn't mention. We are hooking up our. I didn't mention this. As far as data, we're hooking up Prospect Falcon. We're going to integrate that into Hot Prospector, which is a dialer,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're connecting Hot Prospector into High Level. So
Awesome.
once you get that lead that's interested, it's going to integrate right into High Level, and it's going to start spitting out those automations.
Yeah, I think that's what most people, it's like, what's the whole purpose really of Go High Level?
All right, Tannen says still having VAs cold call on data lists from data sources. Where are leads and appointments originating from? So we got a few different data vendors. One of the data vendors I recommend is going to be the guys over there at White Label Suites. They have some amazing data. I believe Prospect Falcon is one of the data vendors that they just launched. All right. Any more questions, guys? William, did I lose you or did you lose me? Did we lose internet?
Get you hooked up.
All right, I'm back. All right, next week, we got more questions. Gotcha. Before, I think we used Melissa data before. A lot of the data is the same. You could use Apollo. You could use, Hot Prospector, the guys over White Label Suites. There's so many data vendors. I really suggest the guys over at White Label Suites, Prospect Falcon. They got great data. If not, you could use Apollo. A lot of the data is the same. Some is better than others. Now, it also all depends if you want to use B2B data and B2C data.
Any more questions?
All right, before we go, next week, Thursday, we are going to be talking about on how to hire cold callers, how to pre-screen them, how to interview them, how to train them, how to onboard them, and how to manage them.
That's, I think, a lot of that. I mean, that could be broken down into fucking 4 different series. Because,
we're gonna have to break that. We're gonna have to break that down in a few series.
Yeah, because just finding them and how we go about finding them and everything else is, that
How,
creates a lot of,
how,
how
how
does
does
that
that?
data work with the TCPA compliance laws? Is it fully compliant?
I'm not a lawyer. I can't answer that.
Yeah. So, I mean, just like us, for example, I tell people all the time, I was actually talking to the team earlier. I said, would I rather someone for us, Daniel, different aspect, but when I'm looking at someone, do I want someone that has an IT background and has some schooling and everything? No, I don't. I honestly prefer, I'll go up to, I can have tuk-tuk drivers, people that don't know nothing about digital marketing, but if they're teachable, and they have a good attitude, I can teach them any fucking thing. I can
You,
teach
you,
them
you,
good high level. I can teach them, SEO, content, lead generation, all of it. But you get someone that's went to school and they think they know what the fuck they're doing, and then next thing you know, they're sour. They're a bad apple trying to spoil other apples. So I don't really, we do have them, but you know, just the hiring aspect alone and how we go through our hiring process over here, it's, that alone I could go over for a few hours.
when it comes to TCP, Tannen, I want you to reach out to Joe Tron. Joe Tron, Tran. He is like a TCP expert. How do you go about scrubbing leads through National DNC? Well, you could take the DNC list and you can integrate the API so you know that you're not calling, DNC data.
Yeah, I
Tannen,
mean,
you got some good questions, Tannen. Tannen doesn't want to get sued, man. He's asking the good questions, man.
yeah, it's like even with cold emailing, we're using when you use cold emails, a lot of times people will tell you, for example, use email addresses that aren't actually attached to your actual business name. you know. But we'll be back here next week. Guys, appreciate you, Daniel. Once again, go to auditasker.com or reach out to me or Daniel on Facebook. And we appreciate you guys. And until next time, I will see you next time. You guys have a good one and be blessed.
Same time, same place.